Here we go again. I can't do this staring at you like that.
I hear you through my door. Should I shut my door?
Yeah. Shut your door.
Turn your voice down.
Turn your radio off, please. We're not going to be able to get through this. I hope our listeners appreciate what we're doing.
Can you shut those doors behind you? So it doesn't look so messy? Because that's the problem.
Yeah. How's that?
Oh, look at it. It looks so much better.
So much cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Hook, Line, and Smiley, episode 44, take 3. Take 34. If you're watching this on video, which, by the way, if you're hearing this, this is the first time we are doing video because, I mean, my wife is so gorgeous. How could you not look at that face whenever you see that? We have run into some technical difficulties. Evidently, all the machines in our house have decided to get together and make a death pack, like a suicide pack. So first it was our refrigerator. Then it evidently was Sarah's curling iron. And then our dishwasher broke last night. And then our podcast equipment broke. So we are doing this through Zoom. And we're recording the video. And so look at that. Yeah, you don't need to do that. You're gonna do this with the mask on the whole time?
Yeah.
You know, this is the all-front. See, this is going to be terrible because I don't know how to edit the video part of it.
So they're just going to get a raw version of us.
So I can edit all this out for the actual Hook, Line, and Smiley podcast, but the rest of it. So, all right. So we want to thank Mac Powell and the Family Reunion for our intro music.
We do.
He's been on the podcast before. And we always start with our woo moment of the week.
It's quickly dissipating. I had a woo moment yesterday. Don't have quite a woo moment today. So
we really did. We did about an hour and 15-minute podcast. And then we went back to listen to it. And it was all jumbled and crackly and all that. And I mean, it was such a good podcast, guys. Like it was, I actually did kind of fix the dishwasher. It was making that noise and stuff.
It was flooding though. Our kitchen was flooded.
But that's why, I wish we could have saved yesterday's podcast. So I fixed the dishwasher because it was making a noise. So I opened it up and I fixed it. Then it decided on its own, not because of anything I did, it decided that it was going to flood. So it started flooding right before what are you doing?
I'm making the hand motions to what the story you're telling, like dead. Dishwasher dead.
And so we had to postpone our podcast so that we could clean up the water on our dishwasher. And then remember, and I told the story about how when you first moved in, you. What?
I heard a noise.
That was the trash can.
Uh-huh.
Come on, man. Don't leave me hanging. Do it again. No, remember I said that whenever you first moved in, you took the dishwasher completely apart.
Yes.
And I snuck around and took a photo of you taking the dishwasher apart because I really wanted to post, look at my new dishwasher fixing my old dishwasher. And I decided not to post that.
Because of that, we just celebrated our 2nd anniversary.
Yeah, that's right. So I thought that showed a lot of restraint.
Good job. Good job, Bob.
Oh, I also told you about, because I just gotten back from Colorado. I was in Colorado this weekend. And I had to wake up at like 4 a.m. It was in the middle of a snowstorm and I had to drive to the airport. And so I went down to the lobby to get coffee before I left. And the checkout lady, was checking me out like you do. And she goes, all right, well, be safe out there because it's really slippery. I know slippery's not a real word, but, I like to make words up. And that messed with my mind because slippery is a word.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Are you
It's a
cutting
word.
out or?
No,
Okay.
I'm just, this is me getting to make facial expressions while you talk.
Okay.
Like the last episode.
Yeah, but now people can see you, so I'm a little more conscious about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but she said slippery wasn't a word, and I'm wondering if she just did that because that kept me awake driving to the airport early in the morning in a snowstorm. I kept just going, I know slippery is a word, and
Yeah, you do.
we talked about what?
I said, yeah, you do.
This is, guys, I'm so sorry. We will try to get our podcast equipment fixed so we do not have to do.
You can't edit this.
Oh,
You
no.
can't edit this.
So
I'm gonna be sweet.
okay, yeah. All right, what's your woo moment of the week?
My woo moment. What was my woo moment of the week?
It was me coming home, I think.
It was you. It was you returning home.
And now you can't even remember it.
From work. You actually had 2 gigs this weekend, and I traveled to my parents' house to help them and hang out a little bit. And so we did not see each other, I think, for about 72 hours. It was a pretty long stint. Probably the longest time that we've been apart since March. So
you know how guys you get home from a job or you've been away for a while and your wife like runs and meets you at the door. Like she met me as I was exiting the freeway, like on the frontage road, came up.
I was on the feeder road right next to the guy with the Trump sign. I was like, Pop Smiley.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He stopped to shake his hand, but then
I was ready for you to be home.
Yeah.
I did seriously run into your arms as soon as you walked in the door. That's not a joke.
Yeah, you really did. Like
I did.
It was sweet because because of COVID and me being what's it called, unemployed.
Yeah.
Almost homeless. Yeah,
we've had a lot of time together.
Yeah, so
a lot of time together, which has been good, but it's nice to miss you too. It was a good feeling.
Yeah, it was a good feeling to go out on the road. Oh, that's another thing that I talked about. This is all going to be boring to you now because I've already told the story, but
no, it's not boring. Just act like it's new.
So Friday night,
I can fake it.
Friday night, I was on the. I was performing at a comedy club in San Antonio, and comedy clubs can be tough because of the crowds. You don't ever know if they're actually there to really like laugh or if they're just there because like their friends drug them to. Like it's not like coming to a Bob Smiley concert.
Right.
They're just going.
There was queso.
There was what?
Queso.
There was queso. It was in a Mexican restaurant that had kind of converted to a comedy club, and they did a phenomenal job. But there was a group of ladies over to the left, and they were laughing at my show. I was about 10 minutes in it, and one of the ladies pulls out her phone, and she starts looking something up, and then she's listening to this video, and she starts laughing out loud while I'm not doing a punchline. Like I'm doing a setup bit. It was when I was doing the new bit about you and me in Walmart. Mm-hmm. And I was doing that, and it was doing really well in the rest of the room. But she takes her phone and starts playing this video for all her friends, and they start laughing at the table. So then I'm like, okay, I gotta diffuse this. I can't let her sit there and watch whatever it is. And so I just got really quiet, and I just kind of peeked over to see what it was. And when I got super quiet,
I guess?
Go ahead.
It was Dustin Nickerson.
See, that hurts me deeply. Mm. How do you mute on Zoom? There's got to be a way to mute.
You mute me and you don't snuggle with me tonight.
All right. Unmuted. No, it was me. I got super quiet, and all of a sudden in the room, you could hear me, and they were playing one of my videos. So here's what happened. They didn't know who I was. They thought I was hilarious. And so one of them pulled up the phone to see what else I was doing, on YouTube. And so she looked up the Weed California bit, which is one of my favorite bits. But she looked that one up and was playing it and laughing at it. And I was like, I'm right here. Like, I'm right here. I take requests. So, like look through the YouTube list. And if you see something you want me to talk about, I'll talk about it. It was so weird. I'd never been heckled by myself before. Like it was just weird. And I just wonder your thoughts on that. Like, do you think people are going to kind of forget how to be socially acceptable when they get back out into groups and stuff? Or
I think that people that entered quarantine times without any, kind of like you're saying, like decency rules of engagement kind of thing, I think it's going to be way worse. But I think for the most part, people that did have, rules and boundaries and know how to act in public, they're going to be excited to be out in public. They're going to, behave. That's what I think. But I think that somebody that would pass around a phone at a comedy concert was doing it way before quarantine. That's just my opinion.
Okay, that makes sense. But so you think she would have done that no matter what? It's not that she's been shut in for a long time.
No, she might have needed something with salt on the rim. I don't know. I did have another woo moment.
Okay, hit us.
Okay, so I was in Galveston, like I said, visiting my parents this weekend, and we mostly just hung out at home and went through some stuff. They're getting ready to move, and so I was helping my mom sort through some things. And so we had a really nice dinner and at home, and we're hanging out. And around 7:30 or so, my dad said, "You know what we need? Hey Mikey's," which if you don't know Hey Mikey's, you don't know ice cream. So it's like a really famous ice cream shop there in Galveston, very beloved, the best ice cream on the planet. So we hopped in the car as fast as we could, went the 0.5 miles to the ice cream shop because everything's closed there.
Yeah.
And went in and got ice cream. Now you have to wear a mask. So I'm literally, it's not this bad. It's more like this, but not very much of my face was showing. And I had like my hair, not in a turban, but up, and so you're not really expecting to like see anybody, or talk to anybody. So my dad and I get up there to order, and she's like, "Wait, I know you." And my dad's pretty, recognizable and well-known in the area. And so I just assumed she was talking about him. And I kind of looked at him, and as a joke, I pulled my mask down and I was like, "Yeah, I used to live here." Like an obvious joke because he's the one they recognize. Yeah. And she's like, "Oh, it is you." And at that point I realized she was talking about me. And she said, "You're Bob Smiley's wife." And I said, "I am." And so we got into this really great conversation. She's a super fan of yours. She's been to a couple of shows, but she'd never had the guts to like come up and say hey. And so I told her to do that next time that we were, that you were touring and everything. And so she was really great. But that's the first time that's ever happened to me. Like I've never been recognized. And I think it's really odd that this is what they recognized.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. My mask earlier, like you can still see what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm pretty expressive with those bad boys.
I don't know. Your eyes are what got me. So it's it was one of the things that that's always interesting to me because that happened to us when we were dating and I was down on the island with you and we went to Kroger and then we got back to your apartment to feed your kids and I think I saw it on Instagram or somebody said, "Hey, I just saw you in Kroger, but I didn't want to bug you." And I'm like, why wouldn't you come up and just say hi? I guess
that was them recognizing you and I was with you, but I've never been recognized without you. And I've never been recognized. That was really weird. That was a weird experience. I wish I'd washed my hair.
That for a long time, there was a family that would shop at Sam's about the same time that I would shop at. And I would always go to Sam's after I went to the gym. So I just looked like a drowned rat, just really bad. And this family, and the first time they recognized me, I was like, oh, that was awkward because they want to take a photo and like my hair is all fried up and I just, I'm sweaty. I'm like sweat pits and all this kind of stuff. Super just not, how I want to be photographed. But I took a photograph with them. And then I think the next week they were in there again and they were like, hey, do you mind if we get another? And so then I started dressing up for a while.
Yeah. Shower at the gym.
Yeah. And so I started actually bringing a nicer shirt or a shirt that I was like, okay, I want this because for a while they would take a photo.
How many pictures do they need of you?
I want to say they took 6 or 7 different photo. I haven't seen them in a while, but they really were showing up.
Why wouldn't you just say no, thanks? Like I just saw you last week.
Well, because I don't know. I feel bad. No, I think it's sweet that people, if they want to do a photo of me, it's not like because of my ego. It just means like my comedy has meant something to them.
Right, but 6 times in a row, that's like, babe,
I
that's a
think,
little stalkerish.
here's what I think. I think the first time I looked so bad, and then I gradually started looking better, and so I think they were like tracking my progress
Okay.
on
Okay,
how,
that makes
like, and I
sense.
think they were hoping to eventually get me in a suit.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was going
Good
to suit
luck.
up or something like that. So, but
You
that's
have to
cool.
marry you to get you in a suit.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I bought a suit to get for us
Good.
married. So, well, that's cool. So, any other woo moments for you?
No.
I have a different one than I had last night.
Really?
Yeah, and it is. I'm going to steal yours almost every single week.
Okay.
It's you.
What?
You're my woo moment. So our 21-year-old is Coulter, and he moved back in for a pretty extended period of time in our house. He decided that college was not right for him, based on a letter that he got from the college, and so he decided he was going to get a job, but he got a job south of us, and so he has an apartment north of us, by about 45 minutes, but decided that it was better to live here, to go to his job. So he moved in, but he still had his apartment that he had just recently got. Like he had gotten the apartment, and that's whenever he got this better job down in Houston. I'm trying to explain why he didn't have electricity for a month in his apartment. And so I kept bugging him saying, hey, did you get the electricity turned on? No, I'm going to. And there were a couple of times he went up there and spent the night at his apartment, like on the weekends and stuff. And he just didn't have electricity. Like he slummed it, which I would have been, that's the way I would have done it. I wouldn't have turned my electricity on when I was single living in Nashville if I would have thought of that. I thought you had to have it on. So I kind of got it, but also I was like, the kid needs electricity. Well, he just got a new job, and so he's going to move back out and into his apartment full time. He couldn't get the electricity turned on. So here's my woo moment. You yesterday took him aside, got all the information, got on the phone, talked to the lady, you figured out what the problem was, and you helped him get set up with electricity. And that was a huge woo moment because, when we went through, the divorce and everything, he was older than his brothers. And so he was more aware of what all was going on and all that. So he doesn't have any relationship with his mom. And that has been like a real, like struggle in just my life of like worrying about him and stuff. And like, I feel like he has a loving mom now. And that was such a mom moment that, I felt like I had a partner and somebody truly loving him. And he appreciated it too, because, I got home and I was like, did you get set up? And he's like, yeah, Sarah got me set up. And, I'm supposed to check my email tomorrow. And like, he kind of repeated everything that you'd already told me, but like, he totally appreciated, like, it was a great mother-son moment that I got to witness that I didn't think I would witness with him. So that was kind of my woo moment. You just wanted him out of the house? Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm with you.
No, that's not totally true. Like he has an apartment. He has an apartment that he's paying for. He does need to be there versus here. And he needs his independence. And so he did tell me, I didn't like really push in until he told me that he had called and they told him. And I just felt like as a mom, and I'm a pretty aggressive person anyway, but I felt like as a mom, they were kind of giving him the runaround. So I texted him back and I was like, hey, maybe they just need a mean mom to call and badger him a little bit. And he put, LOL, yeah, they do. And so I was like, okay, that's the green light. So I asked him for all the information, called, and they actually ended up being really nice, but it did take about half a day to get through the process. So I was glad I did it.
That was so great. And then my other woo moment is Halloween. You actually let me decorate the house in full. And
I'm kind of regretting it.
Well, but it kind of leads in my poo moment because you did say, and we talked about this on the podcast, you were like, yeah, because I brought out like a little shoebox and I was like, hey, why you and Dylan and Mason are going camping, can I set up some Halloween decorations? And I think I had some little tiny pumpkins in there. And you were like, Oh yeah, sure. And so as soon as you closed the door and drove away, I was like, all right, boys, get out the crates. And so we started getting all the Halloween stuff. So when you came home, it looked like, you know, what's the Halloween store that Spirit
It
Halloween?
looked Party City.
Yeah, it looked like Party City when you came back in.
Yeah, it did. It did. Party City / haunted house / Fright Fest. Yeah.
What's the haunted house? I mean, not haunted house, but what's the Halloween store that buys out buildings that have gone bankrupt all the time and they're in there for like 3
The
minutes?
Spirit Halloween, I think.
I think
Spirit
Spirit of
Halloween.
Halloween. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, it kind of looked like that, and you got home and you're like, okay, yeah, this is fine. It's a little more than I thought, and everything. Well, now I know why, because we went out to eat tonight.
We did. We had a date night.
Yeah, well, we had a date night, and one of us had an agenda.
No, I didn't have an agenda. I
Oh,
just can't think. I
okay.
can't think when I'm in this house with all these people that need something all the time. And I get you alone like rarely. And it's usually talking through a bathroom door because you're sitting. And so I was like, this is even a better environment to like, and my brain just starts thinking about, family things and house things and us things. And
Okay,
it
real quick
wasn't
side note.
calculated. I'm not Bob Smiley. It wasn't that calculated. You know me.
Okay, but side note, we got recognized in the restaurant tonight.
We did.
Want to
We
tell that
did.
story?
I think we did. Like, you're like, oh, we should go back and give him a picture. But I was like, what if we're wrong? Then you're like the weirdo that's like, hey,
Yeah.
am I famous enough? Like I don't
Well,
want to be weird. But we sat there, we were having dinner, and you were just staring lovingly into my eyes the whole time. So you didn't see this going on. But over your shoulder, there was a mom and a daughter. And I saw them playing on their phones, like everybody plays on their phones sitting in a restaurant. So I didn't think anything of it. And then the girl was like tapping and she started bouncing, like really excited. And she's like, see, and she's pointing to her phone and she's turning around. And I was like, oh my gosh, I think she recognizes Bob. So of course I stopped crying. I started laughing, so we look happy, blah, blah, blah. Just cute. But anyway, we walked out.
You know what? We've got to quit bringing our bills with us to go over when we go out to eat.
Yeah, money, finances, and kids are off limits. We can't talk about that. But no, seriously, we were having a good time. So I didn't really want to like say something that moment because I knew you'd walk up to them.
Oh yeah.
So we went outside and I was like, I think those people recognized us. And you're like, what? Should we go back in? I'm like, yeah, but if we're wrong, and you walk up and you're like, were you looking for me? Like, what do you even say? Like, you want a picture? Like, there's no way to not sound like a arrogant booty hole.
Yeah. I'll give you 30 seconds.
I came back in.
Yeah.
Because I'm so busy.
Yeah. So it was the mom and daughter couple then, right?
Mm-hmm.
That walked in. Okay. I did notice that she was staring at us.
Mm-hmm.
But I also was eating ice cream and was a little messy with it. And so I didn't know if that's why. Then they sat down and then that's whenever we started like staring at each other's eyes. I find that you'll kiss me more if I've had ice cream.
Yeah.
So that's a little trick of the trade. So, all right. So back to our story.
Which
at
was
the restaurant.
We went on a date. We were talking about how I was manipulating you, but that's really not what was going on.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, with Halloween. So you've been totally cool with all my decorations and all this stuff. And then you were like, what would you think about a 10-foot Grinch? It's like, hey, I used to be married to one. No. And then you were like, well, let me just show you some decorations that I've gotten. And you pull your phone up, which I didn't know could hold a terabyte of
no.
And you start showing me all the Christmas decorations.
No, it's just a plan. I don't even have them yet.
Oh, I thought you ordered like.
No, I haven't ordered any. I was like, so for the front of the house, this is what I have. This is what I was thinking. And you know me, I'm a bargain shopper, and we don't exactly have like a ton of extra money, except I feel like I've been putting aside, you don't really know this, but like a portion of my money every month. So it's going to be like the North Pole up in here. So I'm fine that it's like Hallows Eve all over. I mean, our toilet's orange, but come November 1st, all bets are off. Yeah. We're not even, we may do a few fall leaves, and then it's like Jesus' birthday, North Pole / Elf/Grinch. Yeah.
Nice.
You have to admit that Grinch is pretty cool.
The Grinch was awesome, and the deer. No, I'm with you. I'm with you on because I'm not anti other holidays. I just really like
Yeah.
Halloween, so I appreciate it. But then when you were showing me all that, I didn't know you had saved up money. Because when you were showing me the whole thing, I was like, I felt like I was on The Price is Right, where I was like, okay, that's got to retail like $198. That one's, I didn't see any $1 item.
Yeah, there was no $1.
So I was like, okay, I was trying to calculate it all up for the showcase showdown.
I'll probably have a plan, like a 5-year plan.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll acquire some different things each year. Like I like to shop after Christmas and get it all half off. So you're safe.
Okay. Yeah.
You'll be fine.
Okay.
I'm gonna get like $2 a pumpkin and a skull for all the stuff I'm selling from the living room. So we'll be good.
No. I'm packing that up, baby. That's tradition. We're creating traditions together.
4 days. You got 4 days.
to what? Get it all packed up?
Yeah, for it to be out, and then it's going for sale.
No, I thought
on the 5th day it's going for sale.
I thought you said December 1st.
Nope.
December.
Wait. Am I backwards?
Right now? You are, and you're thinking.
November 1st.
I can't. We'll be camping.
Yeah. We won't be camping. Doesn't look like we're gonna be camping. We're gonna be
cleaning up surgery. That's true. You got to give me till after the surgery.
No, you're not having surgery. You'll be fine.
I am having surgery.
Not November 1st.
Right, like right after that.
We have like a week to get that stuff down.
Oh, I don't think so.
Welcome to Hookline and Smiley. This is us arguing.
But you have to do pre-op.
Yeah.
It's gonna take me like a week to get prepared for my surgery, guys. I'm having I have this little place on my face. Oh, I can actually show it because it's video now. I have this place on my face that is. Don't do that. No.
You're like showing your ugliness on your face. Like nobody wants to see that.
It didn't look bad. Anyway, I've got this cancer thing on my face. It's no big deal, but they're going to cut it off. It's a basal moleculolean.
Yes. Did you see what I changed your appointment name to?
Yeah, to the Bob should have worn sunscreen skin appointment or something like that. Yeah. Very, very snarky. Yeah, way to make fun of cancer. I really appreciate that. But yeah, I am having that cut off on, and I had it on my nose here. Some of our listeners, I bet, were around. So the first time I had this done, they were like, you got cancer on your nose. We're going to have to cut it off. And I was like, okay, what does that entail? And they were like, it's not a big deal. They graft some skin from your neck. They place it, they cut the little bit of cancer off your nose, and then they place the skin over your nose. You get a little Band-Aid, and then you're done. And I was like, oh, okay, because I'm in the middle of a tour, so I could get that done. And they were like, oh, yeah, it'd be fine. So I go downtown. First of all, it took like 2.5 hours of them cutting on me and then sampling the skin and coming back and going, no, we got to do some more, cutting more. Then they graft the skin off my neck, which like really hurts, and they sew it on. And I'm seeing like a mirror, them sewing this black round circle on my nose. So I'm looking like Frankenstein, like and this was after Halloween, so it wasn't even useful.
Yeah.
And then the only way I know how to describe it is they put a sleeping bag across my face, like full on across my face. And they were like, you need to leave that there for 2 weeks. And I was like, what? My dermatologist just said that like it was going to be a little Band-Aid and everything. And the guy was like, oh no, you've got to leave that on there. And I was flying out to go on tour with Hawkins the next day.
So what did you do?
I took the sleeping bag off and put a little Band-Aid on it. And it did jack it up. It like pulled the stitches off. And so you can kind of see where it was. So I probably shouldn't have done that, but I was going out for 4 days. Here was the super sweet deal. So I tweeted about it or put on Instagram or something. And I was like, so guys, I'm going to have a Band-Aid on my nose. That's what it is. It's super awkward. But just, so I don't have to answer the question all the time. Look for the Band-Aid boy, Band-Aid Bob. And so the second night, this whole group of people showed up and they had Band-Aids on their nose. And they called themselves the Bob Band-Aid Brigade. Like, it was so cool. It was very supportive and awesome. So,
I mean, I wore a Band-Aid on my nose once. I don't want to be known as Band-Aid Bob for the rest of my life.
that's a great callback. That's a great callback. I want to see if people know what you're referencing.
Okay.
Don't say anymore. If you know what she's referencing, email us at hooklineandsmiley@gmail.com. All right. Poo moments.
Poo moment. What was my poo moment yesterday?
You said you didn't have one because you were so deliriously happy and in love.
That
Okay,
doesn't
this is a
sound like
video, but I have to blow my nose.
No, just put the screen on me so it's not recording you blowing your nose. My poo moment. Oh my goodness, I'll keep talking so your microphone's not on. That's
You hear that?
loud. I can see your ring light. Yeah, it was like an elephant blowing his nose, an elephant with sinus problems. I think my poo moment was I have not been sleeping lately. And so I'm just tired all the time. I woke up this morning and I said, oh, as soon as I get off work, can I come home and take a nap? And you're like, yeah, knowing that was not going to happen. But it was super sweet to say that.
Yeah.
And I'm just tired all the time. So
I slept through the night last night.
I did, but I took so much melatonin that I think when I woke up this morning, I was just kind of like,
You're out of it.
But I was really glad I really almost called in sick just because I was just so strung out. And I thought, no, I'm not, that's not fair. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
And so I got to work and there were 3 teachers missing, 3 out of 6 of us. Yeah. Oh, wow. 3 out of 6. There's only 6 teachers. Yeah. I was counting, but yeah, 3 out of 6 of us were gone. So
that's like 2/3.
Yeah, it was, yeah. So it was a good thing. But I get 2 sick days. Here's my dilemma. And maybe this is our iffy moment. Like you get 2 sick days, right? You're not familiar with this because you know, haven't been an employee or whatever, had to get vacation and sick days. But you get sick days.
True.
You get paid.
I worked at Video Spot videotape rental place right out of high school.
Mm-hmm.
So like there.
So like 1985. But anyway, so I get sick days. Well, you get paid for those, right?
I guess.
So if you do. So if you don't take them, you don't, you went to work and you could have not gone to work and gotten paid.
So you just lose it.
So like, do you use those when you're not really sick? Or is that considered dishonest because you're not really sick?
A father goes and asks his 2 sons to do something. And the first one says that he will do it, but then he doesn't go and do it. The second one says he won't do it, but then he does go back, change his mind, and he does it. Which one does what the father asked?
The one that says he wouldn't do it and went and did it.
Yeah.
Okay, so how does that help me?
It didn't. I just read that in the Bible today. I thought it was interesting.
Okay. Well, I didn't take any sick days last year, so, and I feel like I got robbed.
Yeah, well, I think you feel a cough coming on in November.
Yeah. Allergic to all these Halloween decorations. You better get them down.
We agreed, December 1st.
Oh my gosh, when I just made that, better get them down. That sounds like Maya Rudolph.
Oh yeah, you even did your head back like that.
I know, she's like, oh.
We quote her quite a bit from Bridesmaids.
Yeah, we do.
What are our quotes?
That's a terrible movie. We're not recommending it, but it has amazing quotes.
I saw it on TBS, so it was edited. Was apple, apple, apple.
So good.
But so many times you go, okay, this is happening. This is happening. It's happening right here. This is happening.
Well, there's something that's happening beyond my control, and it's super uncomfortable, which seems to happen a lot since I met you. Yeah, that quote fits.
Okay, this is happening.
Do you have a poo moment?
I didn't until yesterday. And I don't even think I talked about this last night, but the podcast isn't working. Our podcast machines, there's but I don't know what it is because there's like 8 different parts of our podcast. And I don't want to keep buying one piece at a time to figure out what's wrong.
Well, I feel like we need new mics. I really want one of those like old timey mics like you see on like Letterman's desk.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think those are so cool. So I think we need to save up some money or do a